In the last lesson, we set a scene, we turned the ceiling tag back on, and updated that scene to lock in those changes. Let's add another change and then lock it in by turning on our shadows. So I'm going to minimize my tags panel and minimize this area. I don't leave that open often, really just when I need to uncheck one of these, which we get into in more advanced classes. Now to open the shadows panel, let's go to Window, Shadows down here. And of course, Windows users, you will add that to your default tray under Window, Default Tray, and then check the Shadows checkbox. To turn on your shadows, you can just simply click on this icon here, and that turns on our shadows. Obviously, it's a little bit too dark by default, so we need to make some adjustments. I'm going to click on this Show Details, Hide Details icon, and move my dark slider up. It's a little bit too dark for me right now. So you can see, as I mentioned in the last lesson, our ceiling was white. You can't really see that until you turn on the shadows. So if I turn them off, it looks gray. But as soon as I turn them on, you can see a lot of the textures more true to the image and the color a little more true to the color of the face there. With the shadows on, I now think I'd like to go ahead and paint this ceiling face. Double click into my ceiling group, and it's hard to see, I know, because we're in the room now. It's hard to work inside the room. And I've double clicked onto this face. Everything else is grayed out. I'm going to click B for bucket to activate the paint bucket tool. And instead of looking for this paint color, I'm going to tap my Command key or my Alt key if I'm on a Windows machine and click on the wall here. So click on the wall, sample that paint color. You can see that it sampled it here, and then click on the ceiling face. So you may notice that even though I'm not clicked into the wall group, I can still sample the paint. I am double clicked into the ceiling, so I have access to this face. And so to close out of this, I can click over here, or I can hit the Escape key on my keyboard to also close out of that group. I'm going to click back on Interior Perspective, and you may notice that right away our shadows turned off. So we've got our working, our interior perspective. So just because we turn the shadows on doesn't mean the scene is going to remember that. We need to right-click Update to lock in any changes that we make. So again, I'm going to turn on the shadows, bump that dark slider up here to about right there. And now I can right-click Update the scene. So as that's updating, I want to note it's pretty important to always either turn your shadows on or use sun for shading. You can see we've got use sun for shading. This doesn't cast a hard line shadow from the sunshine coming in. So you want to use either this one or this one when presenting to a client. Try your best not to present to a client like this because as you can see, the shadows are off. There's no sun for shading. The textures and the colors just aren't showing up how they are intended. This ceiling is not a different color than the walls. So make sure to check one or the other, or even both. You can leave them both on to present. Now to lock in those changes, I'm going to right-click, Update. Now again, we have working and interior perspective, and it locked in those shadow changes because we did do a right-click update. So anytime you change something about the scene, like let's say I want to orbit a little bit to see more out the window, I can now right-click Update to lock in that change. So it left that same camera location in that scene. Always right-click Update. And now we are going to set the styles. So we're going to create a new style. We're going to add it to this interior perspective scene. And we're going to talk about just using styles in an efficient way. I'll see you in the next lesson.